No, no, no. Eat your Gouda. Eat your Gouda. Good. Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. Look what we got. Ah, one of our amazing fans made this for us, and we just did an unboxing, and I couldn't not. I am peeing myself excited with this. Look at this. Look at this amazing work of art. Absolutely incredible. Look at those piercing eyes. Ah, so amazing. Thank you so much to one of our patrons, Amanda, for that amazing homemade gift. You know, it's just it's incredible being in a position like we are, like where we have so many people who can vocalize their talent and their well wishes and everything towards us, and it really does just give us just so much wind underneath our sails, and we really want to thank you guys. If you want to see that unboxing, and you want early access to it, because we will be posting them on YouTube, but we would like to give our patrons early access. If you want to join us on Patreon, then you can go to Deadeye Two Tongues 740, and you can join the action over there. If you can, there is a free tier. You can join our free tier and be part of the community, or you can help us with a little bit of your hard earnings. We know that it is hard earned, and we appreciate it. We try to give you guys back for your monthly patronage. Goodness gracious! But yeah, we just had to share that. It'll be we're going to make room. That's what we do whenever you guys send in packages to us over at P.O. Box 264, Gloucester, Glouster, Gloucester, Ohio, 45732. If you guys are wanting to have maybe your product or a local product seen in an unboxing, or you would like to have maybe your talents shown on an unboxing, you can send that over there. Or we are always in need of a crucifix or two, or any sort of holy protection.
You show
So,
him the skull, the candle.
oh, yeah. Let's see, how do I move to have that seen right there? Oh, kind of hard to see, but where's that? Hold on. Check it out. It's pretty neat. You'll see that in the unboxing as well. So, welcome back to the Near Death Diary podcast. I am your host, Deadeye Two Tongues, and with me, as always, is the faithful Fog Gilly. How you doing, Fog Gilly?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for tonight and the stories and the chat.
Absolutely. And how you doing, chat? Man, you guys have been showing up in droves. Absolutely amazing. And you guys have been going up and talking it up in our Discord community, which you gain access to by joining us on Patreon. I am glad. It is great to see so many like-minded and loving. You notice just the vibe. Even people stopping in, like who've never been in the chat, leaving comments on our videos, like, what a wholesome group of people. You know,
I think
what a
everyone's getting along pretty well.
yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice. And it makes me feel as if it's we have like just a genuine group of people who really like our stuff, man. You know, this was just kind of like a goof. This was, we didn't know if anybody would like our podcast, and it's growing rapidly. It's pretty nice. Gaining about 1,000 followers every 2 weeks.
Something like that. It's hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah, that's nice. I know a lot of people who have really been plugging away at their social media and everything, and they like have been working years at it. Who are like sitting at 100 followers. I am very blessed to have you guys here, and to have your guys' support and to have your viewership. So thank you guys so much. Two stories for you guys tonight, because it's Monday. In order for us to maintain our 2 posts per week, Monday and Friday at 8 p.m., we have to do one shorter episode with shorter stories. Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast. Until we have some other people helping us with edits and everything in order to keep up, we gotta change things around. So tonight we're going to be doing 2 stories. But before we do, let's show off some of what me and Cody have been doing in our spare time. We have some t-shirts. Now these are printed by me and Cody. We don't really do the middleman thing, sometimes to our detriment, but check these out. We have some t-shirts that we've been designing. These are our prototypes. We're figuring out our setup. You can see here, this is the eye party with the Puckwudgie right there.
Look at that little pudgy guy.
Look at this dude. So we're figuring out how we want our shirts to be. I think we're going to do our main logo, this guy right here, but small, kind of on the lapel of the t-shirt, right here. And then on the back, we're going to have a big graphic like this right here. The the poo. That's one of our designs. And then we're also thinking about doing a design that just has the big main logo on it right here. And then
the chat goes crazy.
This
the enthusiasts in the chat.
The niche audience, you might be able to hear that thunder machine rolling in the background. For those of you who just can't live without it, we have the Thunder Machine Enthusiast t-shirt right there. Look at that. Bright, very Miami Vice color. And then on the back, we're working with this as well. So we are currently working on figuring out. Cody is like off to the side directing because I can't see. We are currently working out, the different t-shirts, what they're going to have on them, and then we're going to be adding them to our store. Now, if you guys are members of our Patreon, we're going to give you early access to these because you guys will be able to contact us via commenting on videos that we post, and we're going to give you guys early access to these too, possibly even parting with some of these prototypes and stuff that are ready now. So if you guys are seeing this and you are members of our Patreon, we are posting videos of us making these shirts. If you comment on them, we can link up. We could figure out how to get you on early access. And also, we got a lot more designs in the oven, literally, because they're cooking.
Yeah, it's nice to have 3 machines pumping out heat while we're experiencing like 95-degree.
Yeah,
so
it's
in the winter it's going to be fantastic, but right now it's a little much.
It's about an extra 10 degrees in here right now. It's probably somewhere around 98 to 100 degrees up here right now. But we've kind of gotten used to it just because we've been cranking out these prototypes and working with them. Cody and I are kind of self-serving right now. We're like, man, we're going to have so many of our own t-shirts and designs, but we are kind of learning the printer and all of the delicacies that come with it. It's a very delicate process. As of right now, there's a lot of, we bought 10 shirts and 6 of them were like, well, we can use those. 4 were a learning experience. So give us a little bit of time and we'll be able to start producing those for you. And they will be available at hellfireholler.com. So that's something you guys can look forward to. If you guys have any favorite stories that we have told that you are just dying to see become a t-shirt, how about you let us know in the comment section or down in the live chat. Guys, that's right. Every premiere, me and Cody are attending the live chat that gives you a chance to be able to reach out to us directly, make your presence known, and, say hey to maybe just 2 of your favorite podcasters. And if not, we will be soon. So,
and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications.
Absolutely. You don't want to ever miss one of our amazing uploads, do you? I didn't think so. No, you do not. Other ways you could support me and Cody before we get into the stories is our social medias right here. You can go and follow us on those. And you can also like, share, repost, and comment on those, because it really does help our algorithm. It does help us get noticed, especially Instagram with brand deals and things that could really, really help us monetarily. So if you don't mind, go follow us over there on our socials. So, Cody, before we get started, anything new going on with you?
I've been so busy printing, and I haven't had time for anything new to happen.
Yeah. Yep. And if anything did new happen, I would know, because I'm pretty much right next to you all the time.
I don't know if I told you, but there's 5 new baby Pekingese puppies out there. That's new.
Is that what that whining's been?
Maybe.
Super high pitched whining. Yeah. It's a freaking animal kingdom out here at Cody's house. Quite a bit of animals. There's a macaw. There's a lot of Pekingese puppies running around. A lot of kitties. It's pretty awesome if you need a furry friend, a little quadruped friend, sit on your lap for a little bit, and you can calm down, and they can listen to you. And,
Those will be available on our website.
yeah. Kittens. Those are on our website too. But yeah, if you need a little fuzzy fella to help you decompress for the day, Cody's house has many furry fuzzy friends, and it's a nice place to go and relieve some stress at the end of a day. However, I've been going down a little bit of a rabbit hole in my spare time. Now, all of this for the future, for legal purposes, is alleged. But the old
which rabbit hole we're going down here.
Garth Brooks is allegedly a serial killer. I've been going down a rabbit hole. What a trip! You guys heard this? There's now what started out as, I think, on a podcast, Animal House or something like that. They had made jokes about it or something, but there's like people who have deep dived and found some stuff, and it does make you scratch your head. It really does, And then, did you see his alter persona? What was Chris Gaines?
Yeah, something like that.
I think that was it. It was like very emo. It was almost like him trying to pull like a Ziggy Stardust to David Bowie. What is happening?
I don't know.
I wonder if Garth Brooks is a Thunder Machine enthusiast.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah. Gotta have T-shirts. Stop talking, or stop talking about Garth Brooks. He's not a serial killer, Yeah. But what an interesting rabbit hole. I'll keep you updated on my findings. Yeah. But let's get started. Before we do, guys, please like, share, subscribe, turn on them notifications. Make it to where you never miss one of our uploads. So we're going to go into our first story. This is called The Man in Black by John Gorgon. What a hell of a last name. Isn't that like Zelda? The Gorgon species? Gorgon race? The fire race? Isn't that the Gorgons? I'm almost positive. I'm now like getting a mental picture of John. His big burly fire, like fire armadillo thing. Yeah, I doubt it, but that's a cool last name is what I'm getting at. So The Man in Black, what does that stir?
Be a man wearing all black. Or
Like,
could it be a Men in Black type situation? Maybe he saw something and they came to shut him up.
It's either Johnny Cash or it's Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Let's dive right in, shall we? I was about 4 years old, so the memory is very vague, but my mother would tell me a story of when we went swimming on a hot July day. My mother, father, and 5 older siblings were swimming at the beach at a small lake in Wisconsin. I, being the youngest, was in the water with my older siblings playing and splashing and just enjoying the cool water. My mother and father were not far away on a beach blanket watching us play and enjoying the day. Suddenly, My mother noticed I was not with my older siblings. I remember stumbling and going under the water.
Oh
Rut-row.
no.
Rut-row? That ain't good. Especially, is this the ocean? Or is this...
Yeah, it was Wisconsin, so you're gonna be.
Oh, yeah. So, to this day, I can remember not being able to right myself and even being stepped on by what I assumed to be one of my siblings. I remember holding my breath and feeling my face in the sand at the bottom of the lake. I remember seeing the feet and legs of my siblings as they jumped and played, not realizing I was drowning. At about the same time, my mother was starting to realize I was not there. A stranger, dressed in a black suit with a black hat, ran past her and into the water. My mother would explain to me that he looked like how the men dressed in the early years. I remember seeing a hand. It reached down to me through the water and it pulled me up. The weird thing was the instant I broke from the water, a voice told me to breathe. Not his voice. Air seemed to fill my lungs as if I never drowned.
Hmm.
Whoa. Dressed from the old days, so the mother's seeing it.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, like in these situations, like you hear someone say, alluding to like a guardian angel, but oftentimes that's like only the person in peril is seeing that. So this is interesting that the mom, like just imagine some like settler looking guy, like some pilgrim looking, old timey is kind of what she's alluding to. Just some like guy dressed from the 30s or maybe even before, just running
Just
past you.
a
Like,
Mennonite.
you're like, huh? What's going on? The man handed me to my mother with my father at her side. As she comforted me, she turned to thank the man, but he was nowhere to be seen. The beach had nothing but green space of lawn and a few picnic tables for 100 yards before the parking lot. That's my story.
Ooh, so he just disappeared?
Yeah.
Huh. He just ran in, saved you, and
And then dipped.
then dipped.
I mean, let's just say, if you were going to disappear, the only way without being seen, because he's like painting the picture that you have, this vast green grass, picnic tables and stuff up past the beach, is if this guy jumped into the water and swam like,
I would be interested because you got your 5 siblings there too. Did they
yeah.
see this guy, or was it just like kind of you and your mom?
Well, I'm envisioning like, your parents are rushing towards you. This guy is rushing towards you. The siblings would have had to have stopped unless like the sight of this man was only privy to the parents and to, the child.
Hmm.
Like who knows? If you, Mr. Gorgon, are in the chat, this is something that we would like a little bit of elaboration on. If you can bring just not clarity, but maybe a little bit more detail to it. Did your siblings see it? What does how does your mother tell this story? Is she just as in mystery as you to this day? Does she have any explanation? Maybe a different understanding? What is your understanding?
I'd like to know if there's any like description of his face. Like, could you tell that it was like a person, or did it look like all you got was the black? Like, was it just
Yeah.
like
I
a
mean,
weird hero shadow person, or like a just a
I wonder sometimes, like if we have like a bit of, say, destiny to us that is to be fulfilled or is like being pushed to be fulfilled by exterior forces, angelic, interdimensional, whatever have you, And I'm wondering if when we get into situations in which case we're supposed to pass or that we are going to pass, like almost like something interjects in the plan, causing you harm or to push you almost to the point of death. It's almost like what is it, the Minority Report? Or not Minority, is it, who's the one where they it's with Matt Damon, Where
Oh, okay. Where he sees like behind the scenes, and there's these people that cause events. Can't remember what that's called, but it's definitely not Minority Report.
We're gonna put it in the edit. We're gonna edit that in right here. That movie is kind of what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
You know, like this, you were not supposed to pass, John. You know, and something made sure that you didn't. You know,
It's the guy. Now I'm thinking like if it was like that movie, it's the guy that's supposed to be watching you, and then he took his eye off you for a second, and you're drunk. He's like, "Oh shit!" and just runs in. And,
yeah.
And that's why he dipped. He's like, "Oh, I'm in fucking trouble."
Right, and then he's just like, he swam as far as he could underwater, like like coming up every so often, just with his two lips. You know, I have to remain hidden. This is already going to fuck shit up so bad.
And now we're spreading it. So
no, like we're going to be silenced. Like this episode's going to be interrupted. Yeah, but how interesting. You know, would you equivalate that to like almost a guardian angel?
I mean, yeah, that's what like I would like more description of the man. I mean, like the way he just disappeared sounds like it's like a weird like supernatural type deal. But then like if it was just a guy.
Yeah,
could have been just a guy watching and then just saved you.
Yeah,
but it's hard to tell because
Then and not to throw any sort of shade. I don't want to throw shade, but your parents are watching 5 children play. And you're enjoying your time at the beach too. You look up and you take count, and you're like, wait a minute, like this guy, was he just sitting there watching? It doesn't really make much sense, right? Like.
I don't know. I had that one. I was like with an ex once at like a community pond thing, and like we were just sitting there looking out in the pond or whatever, just me and her, and then like this little girl just walks down to the pond by herself, and I look and like there's a family walking up this hill to some gathering, and they like totally just
lost sight of her.
Lost sight of her, and she's like almost walking into the pond, like about to fall off this little hill. So, had to be like,
yeah, take action.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. But, I'm just saying, like, whoever this was, either they were sitting on the beach paying attention, but then there's no suggestion that this person even was on the beach. Whenever, after he handed them John, like, he just vanishes, poof.
Yeah, the whole vanishing thing makes it seem like it's,
so
some sort of supernatural do.
I feel like this may either John had, some destiny he was supposed to fulfill, and they made absolute sure of it, and we're always like, oh, it could be a guardian angel. What if it's the opposite? What if there was some dark, insidious thing John was supposed to fulfill? He is the chosen one, for the darkness. Either way, you got saved, but that's the world my head goes to. It's like, what grandiose purpose does John serve? Like, who knows? But you got saved, my friend, and that's what's important. I am thankful to whatever mysterious force that was that kept you here, buddy. Everybody in chat, give a hallelujah that John Gorgon is still with us. And John, if you are in the chat, thanks for writing in, man. Short story, but open-ended, and a lot of mystery. A lot of mystery to that. That is rather spooky, but in a good way. With that being said, Cody, who's going to sponsor us today? In honor of John being saved, let's go to our next sponsor. All I'm going to say is enjoy.
Visit hellfireholler.com.
Did you like that? Huh? It was a good one, right?
That would be really funny if I just make it like a overly hairy like Russian guy, and then you're just like,
I'm not going to be surprised.
You like that? Oh yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised that you might edit this into my detriment, but I don't care.
That'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. What we agreed on was great. Who am I kidding? This is all within your power to change. So whatever. All right. Thank you, Hellfire Holler, for sponsoring us. You guys are absolutely amazing. Gosh, what an amazing group of guys.
I know. I've talked to them, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean, just like literally,
hang out with those guys all day.
Yeah, they're always there when I need them. Like literally always there. Like I could call them at any time in the day, and they would answer. It's a spectacular group of guys over there at Hellfire Holler. Yeah. straight up. And I've heard, I've heard crazy things about him.
Big things.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, guys, thank you for sticking around to the second story. Before we get started, just to give you a reminder, go to our Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongue 740, if you'd like to support us, help us line the coffers, and make more content, better content. Give us the ability to get out and into the world of IRL, in real life ghost phenomenon hunting. And we do have another IRL experience in the making, but we're going to sit on that one. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep that to ourselves. And you guys are just going to have to be surprised by it. So, also, if you are on our Patreon, you can message us about t-shirts that we're starting to make, merchandise, a bunch of other cool stuff that we have in the making over there on our Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongue 740. Like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification buttons so you never miss an upload by us over here at the Hellfire Holler. Right there. And on this podcast. So, yeah, that was a cool story. And it looks like we're going into a second story called The Hatted Man. Got a lot of... In the last episode, too, we had a lot of Hat Man happenings and stuff. So, what is going on? A lot of spooky specters coming out of
What if the
woodwork.
last story was a malevolent hatted man?
Could be. On the last episode, I was talking about how possibly these shadow beings absorb whether the positivity or the negativity in which we give them. Maybe that one was filled with positive vibes. So, The Hatted Man by Can. So, we're about to dive into this one. Guys, like, subscribe. Commenting really helps too. And hit the notification button. Show us some love. Hi guys, my name is Can. I love what you do, and I thought I'd share my experience of a hatted man. I don't think it's the same hatted man I had when I was 7, but I'm from Queensland, Australia, and at the time of my experience, I was living in Rockhampton. I lived in what's called a Queenslander, a style of really old house. It would have been 90 years old at the time, and this happened in 1989. In my bedroom, I had 2 beds, and they both faced the doorway. I could see straight through to the other end of the house. It was so big and spacious and openly planned. There was a light at the other end of the house that I could always see on. One night I woke up to a feeling. I was being watched, and I lifted my head and saw a very small man with a hat on. He was jet black against the light behind him, leaning against the doorway. So this is a very tiny, at least from what I pick up on the explanation. Very tall man. I thought it said small man. So we're not. I was sitting there thinking, well, we're getting them in all shapes and sizes, ain't we? You know, this like just really itty bitty little guy with a hat.
That might be creepier.
Yeah, right. You never know where he's at.
Like leprechaun or something coming in.
Could be anywhere. He didn't have the trench coat on like I've read in other people's experiences. He reminded me of what Australians refer to as a swag man. You might have to Google that because it's hard to describe. But we're going to do that, and we're going to put that.
Let's go. A swag man or swaggy was a transient laborer.
Did you say transient labia?
I don't think I did.
It sounded like it. You have to keep that in there. It's a transient labia. Keep going.
Okay, a swag man or swaggy was a transient laborer who traveled by foot carrying his belongings in a swag or a bedroll during the 19th and early 20th centuries.
You know, if today's swag man, you know, would be, you know, some, I think what the kids say, dripped out, iced out, you know.
I bet that's probably dead by now, isn't it?
No, I think it's still going out. I hear people say they got the drip all the fucking time.
Well, I was saying swag.
Oh, swag. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, no, swagger.
That thing's so old.
Nah, it's still in.
I'll
It's
kill
still
it
in.
myself.
Chat, what do you think? Is swag still hip?
Okay, Grandpa.
Is swag still swag? It wasn't even me. I'm older than that. I'm even older than that shit. I'm from the world of things were hip. But he had no swag. He just stood there. I just stared at him. I pulled the sheets over my head, and then I pulled them down quickly, and he was still there. We stared at each other for such a long time that I remember my anxiety dropped, and I was like, okay. So I put the sheets over my head, and I eventually fell asleep. I woke up with the sheets on my face the following morning. So like she just gets to a point to where she's just like,
I mean, if you sat there and then you have time to like calm down and
yeah,
rationalize or something, and
so
if it's doing nothing, that's the same thing that we were talking about last time, where it's like if it does nothing, and then you just get the the initial like shock and worry goes away, and then you're just left with like, all right, what are you doing?
Well, and that's become kind of the common theme, which has been established, funny enough, over the past 2 episodes, because like that's when we've got all of these Hat Man, and kind of just and people unknowingly maybe even talking about the Hat Man, but it was my conclusion. It was yesterday, yesterday's episode's conclusion. The previous episode, that there just seems to be this kind of like complacency that happens around this. Like I would literally watch the Hat Man walk through a wall, not even knowing or acknowledging my existence. I'd be like sitting there going, because my closet was pushed up to this wall that me and my dad built that used to like walk, like you would make kind of like a immediate right turn out of my room, and there was the bathroom, and we put a wall there so we could establish a little bit of privacy, growing up. And my closet was right there, pushed up against that wall, and I would be going through it getting my outfit ready for the next day, and he would literally just walk right through me and through the closet. It was the strand. I know it didn't feel any sort of way. There was no cold vibe. There was no hot vibe. There was no strange anxiety or anything like that. It was, like I said, it was just like he was in the process of going through like his typical day or something. It was almost like he didn't know that we were there, like coexisting, like smashed realities. And it's funny because she's literally sitting here in her bed. She's like making eye contact with this thing, and it's looking at her. And she eventually just gets to the point where she's like, meh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what their deal is.
There's people who have posted videos and things like, where they're seeing like a shadow creature that kind of fits the bill, of a hat man, I'm wondering, there's some people who it's like, oh my God, it's like scary, but it doesn't ever seem like it's accompanied by like things getting thrown, or it's just him sitting there, just like chilling, like, is he malevolent or is he benevolent?
It'd just be like indifferent almost.
Is it malevolent or benevolent? Malevolent? Malevolent.
Vanilla vent.
Vanilla envelope. I can't speak today. I'm having a hard time. But yeah, is he good or bad?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hard to tell. We talked about this last time. Is it the same thing, or is it just different things? Or are they
just neutral?
Or is it because like everyone back then wore the same hat and they just all have this hat type deal, and it's like various different hat men?
Yeah, who knows? But oftentimes a pork pie, cowboy hat, top hat.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
Or maybe they're shadow demons and they found a shadow hat and they just want to show it off. And they're like, look at this hat. And then you're just staring at it. And then eventually they're like, he liked that. He fucking liked that hat.
They're fashionistas. Yeah. Just like try and just get their hat noticed. Yeah. I mean, it worked. You're known as the Hat Man now. So congrats. Congrats, Shadow.
I want to have an experience where we just see the hat. Like there's no man, there's no Shadow Man. It's just the hat, and like Shadow Man's lost his hat. That's probably when they become Malevolent, yeah. They lose their hat and then they're so mad.
Yeah, maybe. Back to the story. The next night I switched beds. I didn't want to be closer to the doorway. I saw him again, but he wasn't standing in the door. He was pacing outside of my doorway, going back and forth for what felt like hours. I eventually fell asleep, but was half awoken by feeling a whole body tingling, like prickly tingles, and a swooping feeling like being dropped all of a sudden. But I was still too much in a sleep state to wake up fully, but enough to remember the feeling. The next morning, I woke up on the floor beside my bed, with my bed sheets tucked all around me. So, outside of my experience, I've never had anything like that touch me. I've never seen him actually be able to interact with anything. But we all have our individual experiences. But uncharacteristic as of now with the other Hatman experiences that we have heard. I got up and went to my mother and told her what had been happening, and she said it must have been my stepfather. He was stocky, not skinny like the hatted man, but I told her that. And she did listen and tried to make excuses, but ultimately just fobbed me off and said it was nothing. I remember going to school and asking other kids if they had experienced this sort of thing. I looked like an idiot, but eventually, after a few other occurrences in my room, my mother gave me what's called the white light prayer and got me to say it every night. It didn't really work, and I used to sneak into my mother's room and sleep in her spare bed. We left the house in 1992. When we sold it, the people after us only lasted 6 months in that house before selling it. Thank you for all that you do. Can.
I'd like to know what that white light prayer is.
Yeah, Can, if you are in the comment section, and if that's not a secret family prayer or something, can you bestow that upon
Although she did
us?
say it kind of didn't work, right?
Well, she said it didn't work, but that, that it could be entity, based, or maybe the entity is like far more powerful, and perhaps she's young. She didn't know how to speak it with inflection, with oomph, I think anything could become a prayer, like you just have to absolutely mean it. But it'd be interesting to see the prayer that was handed down to you, and regardless of it working or not, if it's got positive intention, I would like it prayed over top of my lovely following, which you guys happen to be. Chat, what'd you think about that story? What'd you think about that? Both instances seemingly Hatman-ish, almost like a bleed over from the last episode. How fascinating. Or is just the Hatman surfacing more often around the world as we speak? Yeah, we have to keep them a little bit shorter on Mondays. We do save our longer stories for Fridays, because that's the night that most people don't have anything to do the next day because their long, weary work week is over. So we like to bring you guys a nice long episode on Fridays, shorter episodes on Mondays, but we still get the job done with plenty of banter.
Banter.
Yep. But that was an awesome story. Thank you, Can. We really appreciate that. Any questions that you would like to put out there to possibly have her comment on?
Just that prayer, I guess. Figure out what that was.
Yeah. So I'm guessing because she left and she noticed that the next dwellers of the house only lasted 6 months. So I'm assuming that this was attached to the house and not her. But did you have any sort of residuals? Did any part of that follow you, or was it just kind of DOA the moment you left the house? That is a question I would have. Did you know the other people who were in that house? Did you by chance ever cross paths with them, and did you hear perhaps their testament of why they only stayed 6 months? And was it because of this unknown specter.
Was there a description of the hat he was wearing in that one?
I do not believe so.
But I mean, obviously, just that he was wearing a hat.
Yeah. Didn't have the trench coat, though, which is a common, kind of a common characteristic that stands out to people. It was definitely on old John, the guy that we saw. No, I don't
His
think-
description, I thought, was just all black, like an old timey.
Yeah.
Didn't know if there was even a hat mentioned in that one. Was there?
No, but I'm, assuming by the title.
See, that's what the thing. Like, if you say, "Oh, there's old timey," you just always picture that hat on people,
Yeah.
or like a hat like that, like a.
Yeah. I mean, it's perhaps woven into our subconscious, maybe by the hat men themselves. Do you think there's more than one hat man, or do you think this guy is just
But I'm wondering, like, is it
teleporting?
just like shadow, like specters of people who had passed in that time area or time frame, and then that's why they all have hats, because they were all back in that day. That was their go-to thing. They all wore hats.
Well, I don't know. Then why aren't we seeing like ghosts of samurai and like
Well, I don't know.
Like-
We don't get any stories from that part of the world. I'm sure there are.
I'm just saying like this is kind of strange. I can't help but feel like it's like an agent of like our reality. Like it's
Something like that, yeah. Maybe.
yeah, it's like the Men in Black show up. They characteristically are almost like all wearing like the same kind of uniform. I feel like the Hat Man's almost like a uniform for some type of spirit that shows up in metals or intermingles like for some unknown purpose.
I wonder if they get to select their hats, or they got to wear the same hat.
Like maybe they're there to like repair like broken like time, or time frames, or like glitches in the matrix or something.
Maybe.
Like I don't know. I don't know what they are, but
Yeah, it's hard to it's all speculation, because right now,
speculation.
but I was picturing, I want to see a hat man, but he's like wearing a big sombrero. That would be
It's just like an undeniable, like, oh, he had a hat on. Oh yeah,
he was all hat.
that would be hilarious. Or like a top hat that's like 9 foot tall.
So like Doug Dibadone, Shadow Man.
Like, did he have a hat? Oh yeah, he was all hat, baby. Yeah, that would be funny. And now I'm really envisioning like like a story. The Hat Man comes up like from the edge of the bed. It's just like this huge sombrero.
Or he's just changing hats as he's standing there, just like waiting for your like approval on which hat he should wear. This one.
That'd be funny. It's time for a word from our sponsor. I wonder what we're going to try. I wonder what we're going to try to pull off right now. Take it away, Hellfire Holler.
Visit hellfireholler.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this shorter but still amazing episode of the Near Death Diary podcast. So, what'd you guys think? Let us know in the comment section. Guys, if you have stories that you want to be seen on this show, if you have an old ghost story, or if you have a story handed down from maybe your parents or your grandparents.
That's what I'm waiting for, like a family story from like, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, those aren't stories anymore. Those are legends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I did get in contact with somebody who came forward after viewing our Mothman show. And I'm currently trying to set up a interview with someone who has a relatively interesting story, unlike the ones that we had heard the night of the Mothman, but this more so being let's just let's put that one in the back pocket. I think you guys are really going to find what she has to say interesting. But there is a legend that comes along with her family on her grandfather's involvement with the Mothman that is pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that. We are going to try to get an interview with her this upcoming week to put as a follow-up to our Mothman IRL investigation that we did. If you guys missed that, highly recommend go check that one out. That is a rather popular one with our following. If you guys don't mind liking, subscribing, sharing, and hitting the old notification bell so you don't miss one of our uploads, that would be super helpful to us over here at the Holler. And we appreciate each one of you guys. If you would like to support us, helping us upgrade our content and keep our content train flowing, you can do one of two things. You can email us your story of your local legend or your family legend or your ghost story over at hellfirehollerpodcast@gmail.com, or you can go join us on Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongues 740. But thank you guys for stopping by. Let's kick some dirt on the internet campfire for now until Friday, unless you guys want to keep the fire going by going through any one of our previously uploaded videos. We'll see you in the comment section on those. Cody, you have any closing statements, my friend?
Stay safe, everybody.
Absolutely. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. We love each and every one of you guys. We hope you stay spooky. We hope you stay strapped. We hope you stay wild.